They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was
Coach, thank you. Well, you folks at home can see the evidence. Snow and supposedly a few inches yet to fall here at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
Mike. Let's go, deep, tighten up.
Black!
Let's go, deep, tighten up. Kill.
21. Here we go. Hey, gun.
He's checking. Crash.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
One, Omaha.
Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Slam. Check it out, Reed.
Block.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Gary, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward, since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
There we go. Back man. 20.
Here we go.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check right. Please find 7.
52's the mic. Bring it over there, right? 52's the mic. Come off the ball.
Here's Wentz to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Switch.
Mike 52.
Crunch time.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. And he's going to go down again. Quan Alexander racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. 4th down, so Trevor Daniel on to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Niners will take over at the 20.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
21. I got it.
On 2nd down now. It's Coleman. He'll have a first down past the 40. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run with Coleman on first down. Brought down by Nate Gary. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And the 49er first down.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Hey, watch Sam, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Go, go, go.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On first down, Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Mike 52.
To throw, it's Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Sunday. Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Mostert. And an alley to run. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 18 yards, first down Niners. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Here we go.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Garoppolo. Open man is Samuel, complete. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here we go. 180.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Yeah. You don't want that. Mike, 53.
Garoppolo looks to throw.
Push him back.
And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
26 yards. And a 49er first down.
Here we go.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
65. Hey, gun. 49, check 49.
On first down, here's Breida. And down inside the 15 he goes. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Fletcher Cox, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Throwing is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. Wentz now on first down. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Aguilar has it. And down inside the 15 he goes. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 13-yard line. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And his kick is indeed good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long.
Tight end right. Alert, alert. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Quick the edge.
11.
Hey, zoom. Target.
21.
Check 4. Check hot route. Hot. Undercrush. Hot.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was the veteran safety, Malcolm Jenkins, who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
Malcolm Jenkins on the coverage.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half.
Keep playing hard.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
74. Check 33. In your face. Hey, check Mike 33. Check Mike 33. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. You won't get this. You're all mine.
Throwing now is Wentz. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Hey, gun. 21.
At the 33-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Garoppolo. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. He's going to fire this thing deep right, and that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
And the 49ers first down.
Here we go.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Two.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. To throw is Garoppolo. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fletcher Cox, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
Check 52. 12. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they tried the field goal from just inside of 70 yards. It missed, and now this offense set up nicely at midfield. They'll try to get the offense going with Hill. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wentz. This short throw caught by Goddard. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
5-2, come here.
5-2 is Mike. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Mike 52.
Set the tone, defense.
Sunday.
Defense, let's go.
Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Taken in at the 11. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
From the 36, Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Here we go.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41.
21.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. Nigel Bradham brings him down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Double tight. Even. 4 down. Even. 90 is the mic. Here we go.
Hey, gun.
Now Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida. His 11th touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on...
And a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Shoot. He's crashing. He's checking crack. Sponge. No. Check 90.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Alert.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Check 50.
12.
Wall. Get wall.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Garoppolo now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Tevin Coleman. with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Exit.
Here I come again.
Wentz now on first down. That's caught by Jackson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
The Eagles on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Safety creep. Check. Fresno. He's coming. We got double up. Check, boy.
11.
Now it's Breida. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
Yeah, from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Here we go.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 7 yards there and a first down. Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
Again, it's Hill, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let's go, D, let's go. Hey, let's get this.
Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4.